Fox 5 News at Noon starts right now.
I believe that this is the first time in the state of Georgia's history where there has been a conviction for a federal hate crime. And you all did that.
Yes, sir.
You all did that.
It took only a few hours for jurors to render the verdict Ahmaud Arbery's family has waited for 2 years. The 3 men convicted last year of killing Arbery were found guilty this morning of federal hate crimes. And that is our top story this afternoon. We thank you for joining us for Fox 5 News at Noon. I'm Portia Bruner. A federal jury found 36-year-old Travis McMichael guilty of interference with rights, which is a hate crime, attempted kidnapping, and using a firearm during a violent crime. The jury found his 66-year-old father, Gregory McMichael, guilty of the same charges. And neighbor William Roddy Bryant, who recorded that brutal murder on his cell phone, was found guilty of interference with rights and attempted kidnapping. Now, all of this coming just one day before the 2nd anniversary of Arbery's murder in Brunswick. Fox 5's Eric Perry is live in Glenn County. He just spoke to the Arbery family about this long quest for justice. Eric?
Yeah, Portia, good afternoon. All minds of this family were on tomorrow as they remember Ahmaud Arbery 2 years after he was shot and killed. And they say this is the verdict. This is the outcome that they had been praying for 2 years here, both the state and now the federal. Take a look at some of the video we shot as the family emerged from this federal courthouse here in Brunswick. Hands raised, all smiles there. I was inside that courthouse as that verdict came down. You could see the family visibly emotional, both Marcus Arbery, who is the father, and also Wanda Cooper Jones. But taking you on the defense side as well, as soon as those verdicts were read there in court, you could see the 3 defendants, Travis McMichael, Greg McMichael, William Roddy Bryant, all of them emotional now for a different reason than the family, as they were found guilty, as Portia said, on all counts there. We want to take you to what the mom said. I mean, they were full of just joy and glee here. I got a chance to ask the mother, how does she want her 25-year-old son to be remembered on the anniversary of his death? And how does she want the world to remember her baby? Take a listen.
We're gonna keep it simple. It's Super Tuesday. We got a guilty verdict on all charges, on all murderers.
I love it.
On all levels.
Yes. And before Marcus answer that question, y'all coined that.
Yeah.
Coined that.
And they said that they were calling this Super Tuesday. They want the date 2/22/22 to be remembered forever as the day that they got federal justice for the family there. We did see members on both sides of the family, the defense team not talking to the media afterwards. Of course, you saw the Arbery family. They say that they will, of course, remember their son for tomorrow. But remember, this family has been fighting now for 2 years. The mother, Wanda Cooper Jones, has sat through every single day of trial, both in the state back in November and now here in the federal trial as well here. We have a lot for you coming up today starting at 4 o'clock. I spoke to an 80-year-old Brunswick woman, longtime Glenn County resident. She's not related to the family, but she's been here every single day for both the state and the federal trial. She told me she had to be here. I mean, really wise words, and I want you to hear them when you join us today starting at 4. That's the latest here in Brunswick. I'm Eric Perry, Fox 5 News.
All right, Eric, look forward to hearing her perspective and more about what happens next. This comes as Ahmaud Arbery Day will be commemorated tomorrow in Georgia during a special ceremony tomorrow morning at the National Center for Civil and Human Rights in Atlanta. Arbery's family will be presented with a resolution recognizing the significance of Arbery's murder. A candlelight vigil will take place at the Ahmaud Arbery mural in Brunswick. And people everywhere are encouraged to walk or run 2.23 miles and use the hashtag #IStillRunWithMaud. And now back here in Metro Atlanta, a developing story out of Gwinnett County where police want to find the person who shot and killed a woman inside of a motel room. Gwinnett County homicide detectives say they found the woman dead this morning from a gunshot wound at the In-Town Suites on Stone Mountain Highway near Lilburn. No word yet, though, on what led up to that shooting or even a description of the gunman just yet. A judge has denied bond for DeQuasie Little in the murder of a 6-month-old baby boy. Little is charged with firing that shot that killed little Grayson Fleming Gray last month in Northwest Atlanta. Now, Little did not appear in court for this bond hearing this morning. Fox 5's Deidre Dukes, that was there, joins us live now from the Fulton County Courthouse with more details on this still such a very disturbing case. Deidre?
It certainly is, Portia. And today in court, the prosecution said that it was simply too difficult for the child's mother, the victim's mother, to make a statement in court today. So she prepared a brief statement to be read by a victim's advocate. But even before that letter was read in court today, the judge made it clear after hearing from prosecution and defense attorneys that he had already decided to deny bond. Now, 22-year-old DeQuasie Little has a lengthy criminal record. He was currently serving 5 years probation for an aggravated assault conviction and was out on bond on another case when prosecutors say he shot and killed 6-month-old Grayson Fleming in Northwest Atlanta in January. Now, according to prosecutors, Little was a passenger in a vehicle traveling along Anderson Avenue when he allegedly opened fire on another vehicle with a semi-automatic rifle. A stray bullet struck the child who was riding in a car with his mother. Now, in that letter addressed to the court that was read on the victim's parents' behalf, the child's mother also asked the judge to deny bond today.
Our days are spent trying to comfort each other when there's no comfort. We try to make positive in the worst situation ever. There's a void that can't ever be filled in our lives. A mother's best friend, a father's protege, and a grandfather's buddy was taken when Grayson was taken from us.
Now, the defense had asked that bond be set at $150,000, but after hearing from both attorneys, the judge did decide to deny bond in this case. The suspect remains behind bars in the Fulton County Jail this afternoon. In Fulton County, Deidre Dukes, Fox 5 News.
All right, Deidre, thank you. And now to a Fox 5 News alert for you in College Park. That's where police say they want to find a rideshare driver accused of shooting a pregnant woman 3 times. A shooting police say forced the woman to deliver her child early. Now, that newborn now fighting for her life in the hospital. Uber says the driver is no longer active, but detectives are still trying to track the driver down. Fox 5's Brooke Zahner has the details.
College Park police tell us that this whole thing started as an argument and it ultimately ended with that pregnant woman being shot 3 times and her baby girl being delivered prematurely.
She said, "Dad, he shot me in my stomach," and I almost passed out.
Kenneth Anderson says his pregnant daughter narrowly escaped after being shot outside an apartment on Saturday.
She had on a green outfit, which had literally turned red, so she was bleeding.
College Park police say the shooting happened outside the Central Park Apartments off Camp Creek Parkway. Anderson says his daughter was shot after she got into some sort of argument with an Uber driver who was taking her home. Anderson says the driver picked up his daughter in a car that did not match the color description in the app.
She got out the car, walking toward this way. He turned the car around, stepped out, and started shooting.
Police say the woman was shot 3 times, twice in the stomach and once in the leg. The shooting forced the mother to go into labor prematurely and deliver her daughter 6 weeks early.
They had to do a C-section to get out. The bullet went in my daughter's stomach.
Uber says it is aware of the incident and the driver is no longer active. The company released a statement to Fox 5 saying, quote, "The details surrounding the horrific act of violence towards the rider and her newborn are nauseating, and our thoughts are with them as they recover." Now, right now, it's not clear if that suspect is in police custody. But as for that mother and her baby girl, the family has started a GoFundMe. If you're interested in donating, you can find the link on our website, fox5atlanta.com. That's the latest here in College Park. I'm Brooke Zahner, Fox 5 News.
Atlanta City Council members just adopted a resolution that allows police officers to keep their blue lights on during nighttime patrols. Now, if APD changes that policy, officers would be required to have their blue lights on from sunset to sunrise. A councilman who drafted the measure says it would increase police visibility, make it easier to spot an officer if you're in a crisis, and to decrease potential bad interactions between officers and the communities they serve. All right, let's check in with meteorologist Jeff Hill on this 2/22/22 Tuesday.
A lot of twos out there,
forecast.
Right? And we've got some showers and thunderstorms out to our northwest. These have been pretty strong all morning long, lingering a couple of showers coming through North Georgia. It's really not a lot. In fact, on our Fox 5 Live Viper, really nothing showing up right now. But that line of thunderstorms, that'll be moving into the northwest corner of the state and into some of the counties up in the mountains there from Ellijay up toward the Blue Ridge, Blairsville area, and you could see some flooding happening there if that line stays together late tonight, early tomorrow morning. 1 to 3 inches of rain possible, especially tomorrow morning as that comes through. So we'll talk more about that in our 70s, maybe near 80 by Thursday, coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Jeff, thank you. The situation in Ukraine grows more dire as Russia's president orders troops into parts of the country that declared themselves independent. Fears have intensified about plans for Russia to invade more of the country's territory. Fox's Madeline Rivera has the latest developments as Germany imposes sanctions against Russia.
Columns of tanks spotted on the outskirts of Donetsk, hours after President Vladimir Putin ordered the deployment of Russian troops for what he claims is a peacekeeping operation, but what the Biden administration now calls an invasion. The order following Putin's decision to recognize the independence of breakaway regions Donetsk and Luhansk in eastern Ukraine. His action drawing international condemnation and crossing a line for the White House.
We think this is, yes, the beginning of an invasion, Russia's latest invasion into Ukraine, and you're already seeing the beginning of our response.
Germany rolling out one of the toughest actions yet against Russia, stopping the controversial Nord Stream 2 pipeline built to bring natural gas from Russia to Germany.
Germany's learning the lesson. Unfortunately, President Biden hasn't so far. But yeah, stopping Nord Stream 2 is excellent.
The UK also unveiling sanctions against 5 Russian banks and 3 oligarchs.
This is, I should stress, just the first barrage of UK economic sanctions against Russia, because we expect, I'm afraid, that there is more Russian irrational behavior to come.
Russia produces roughly 11% of the world's oil, and oil prices are rising as the threat of a full-scale Russian invasion of Ukraine grows. And that means higher gas prices for Americans, too. In Washington, Madeline Rivera, Fox 5 News.
President Joe Biden is expected to discuss the ongoing tensions between Russia and Ukraine and possibly unveil plans for new sanctions against Russia at 1 o'clock this afternoon. We'll be sure to have that for you right here live on Fox 5. And coming up on Fox 5 News at noon, an incorrect order at a McDonald's drive-thru leads someone to start shooting at police. Stay with us. You're going to be surprised when you find out how old the person was who allegedly pulled the trigger. And all of us are paying more cash for groceries these days. And we'll tell you what a rise in inflation means for a local food bank that offers a lending hand to those who need it. But first,
this legislation is designed to put more pressure on the property owner to comply with the inspection requirements.
The tragic death of a student athlete has sparked a push for change when it comes to Georgia's law on elevator permits. You'll hear from a state lawmaker and what he wants done next at noon.